Hi, I'm Sai. This is You Heard It First. I'm going to present to you Slim Hardhat. He'll talk to you about constructivism. What's the basis of that constructivism, Slim?
And the cognitivism that preceded it, the theoretical underpinning, Piaget, Vygotsky, and lesson planning. That's where the teaching the formal side of it can come in with the setting of the objectives, etc. And finally, little bit about a black box by Dylan William and Peter Black. They kind of prove that this thing really works.
Of course, the children need to be warm, not too cold, not too hot, secure, OHS, etc., emotionally well nourished, and all the things in Maslow's hierarchy. Yeah, thanks, Sai. You can see by the slide, constructivism. Teaching in such a way that we let the children find the insights, give them problems to solve, to resolve, and teachers to guide them. It's hard to guide. It's easier to tell. Teachers have to learn to ask questions and just wait. Let the silence be the guide. No. Brainstorm maybe. Let the children brainstorm, or let different children answer. Anyway, the silence gives them time to think and tells them that you're not going to give them the answer as a teacher. You're not going to lead them. You're going to let them lead the learning. So Jean Piaget, Lev Vygotsky, these guys are so old. Vygotsky died in 1934. Who else you got in your back pocket? Well, yeah, I haven't got time for a whole history lesson, but Piaget, he taught us the stages of development for the child. Taught us about the schemata that we all have, the pre-existing knowledge, the way we accommodate information or assimilate it, develop new schematas. Vygotsky, he talked about scaffolding. Later in the 70s, Brunner and others, even Piaget, talked about that becoming a teaching practice. Really? A teaching practice? How do you mean? This is how I mean. Create the supportive environment when asking questions. Don't demand an answer straight away. If you get a wrong answer, talk about it. How is that wrong? How is that starting off point for other exploration of the issue, more exploration of the issue? Speaking up. Geez, thanks, Slim. What about lesson planning? How do you plan a lesson if you're going to let children just lead the way in their own learning? How does this work? Thanks, Si. Thanks for that question. You still need to set up the start of the lesson. Paul Medina, the great brain geneticist, says you need to have 7 magic little words, which is in one way of saying you need to establish exactly what the lesson is going to be about in a short, brief sentence. And that sort of stimulates the schemata, shall we say, of the child or the student, so they know where to fit it in, or if they don't know have any place to fit it in, they're going to have to start thinking of something new. And yeah, you still need to say think of what the observable, measurable learning objectives are for your benefit as the guide when you're the teacher and the kids are moving through the subject matter. Class has more of an interactive dynamic. Now, there are issues in this, leaving time between a question and an answer. That's silence. We say nature abhors a vacuum, and silence, classrooms abhor silence. Giggles start, maybe lack of control, maybe some kid decides to use the moment to speak up and disrupt the class perhaps. You just have to have that respect going through the class, so we know we're going to have silence, and that's a time to think about a better answer. And guiding without telling can be a difficult skill to master. It's easier to tell someone, just do it this way, than to let them fail for 5 minutes or explore things for 5 minutes that you could tell them in 1 minute. I necessary. Good. Question them, ask them, how does this work? How can you express what you're thinking? Why are you thinking in this way? In a very open, receptive question-answer format. When you're planning your lesson, of course, things aren't going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to allow for the deviations and provide a rich palette of activities in a way, and find the aha moments back to the objective of the lesson. Lastly, you're going to need the school community and the school management to accept that you won't be marking grades all the time, but you'll be marking, commenting. Some people won't be happy with peers assessing their work or assessing the children's work. So that policy needs to be laid out. That sort of deep policy work needs to be revisited